Strange like this.
We can do whatever, whenever I'm on go. With the metal, I let it blow. We can do whatever, whenever I'm on go. I stay with the metal, I let it blow. Gotta do it one time for the game. Gotta do it 2 times for the fam. Gotta do it 3 times when these beats I'm strapped down 2 guns trying to plan. Gotta do it 1 time for the game. Gotta do it 2 times for the fam. Gotta do it 3 times when these beats I'm strapped down 2 guns trying to plan. Guess this the shit niggas want me on. Turn the nigga can't turn it off. And all I know is go, so I don't ever see no wrong. Cause it's pedal to the metal, trying to put my niggas on. I pick my position, tell the team feed me the ball. And watch me go ahead, looking like the man when I slide through. Bad bitch ass fat, try and ride through. And shit said a nigga, get a nigga bank up, get home, one fuck, turn around, roll up, pour head in my cup, then pass it. The penny yeah, a nigga go kill switch, blame breaking, nigga make a deal shit. Low try, whole team straight real quick. Loyalty building. Been day one since day one. How the fuck could I switch up? My main bitches never stay loyal. My bitches on the sideline trying to call plays with my main bitches running back up. My main bitches too stuck up, and my side bitches never had nothing. But I'm cool, she been groovy. Fly spot, my life just like a movie. Do whatever, whenever I'm on go. I stay with the metal, I let it flow. We can do whatever, whenever I'm on go. Stay with the metal, I let it flow. Gotta do it 1 time for the gang. Gotta do it 2 times for the fam. Gotta do it 3 times when these niggas strapped down 2 guns trying to plan. Gotta do it 1 time for the gang. Gotta do it 2 times for the fam. Gotta do it 3 times when these niggas strapped down 2 guns trying to plan. We survive from now, this vision clear, it ain't hard to fall. Long life, focus on the wrong shit. No disrespect, I'm showing pain, I'm on some grown shit. Can't feel the pain, only thing changing the line. Lost road to the game, he fell victim of lineup. Street stayed the same, had to change up my lineup. Lost out to the pen, few friends, 6 and green. Joy told me in the end, watch elemental B, A, B, C, and D. Every time it's a COD, and they ain't gon' make you break. Show your ass on TMZ, put your middle finger up, just be quick and flee. Word to my mother, I'm gon' hit my zenith. Any given Sunday, catch me Willie beaming. Malibu shopping, rolling with great wine. Move like a shot of Henny, both for the late night. We can do whatever, whenever I'm on go. I stay with the metal, I let it flow. We can do whatever, whenever I'm on go. I stay with the metal, I let it blow. Gotta do it 1 time for the gang. Gotta do it 2 times for the fam. Gotta do it 3 times when these beats I'm strapped down 2 guns trying to plan. Gotta do it 1 time for the gang. Gotta do it 2 times for the fam. Gotta do it 3 when these I'm strapped down 2 guns trying to plan.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We in the building. Let's get this together. There we go. All right. Yeah, we in the building today. Welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast. You know, it's me, the hostess, Janny Schmanny. Just to let people know, back to where we at. We're a community-based platform. We're going to welcome our guest today, Anthony McFadden, bringing something to the podcast, something to the community. It's going to let you know what it is in a minute. Just because we're exposing the voices of the voiceless, not that he's voiceless, but if you haven't heard it, then he's voiceless. Yeah. He's voiceless unless it gets to your ears. So with that being said, we also have my extravagant co-host,
Yes, y'all already know it's Mogul Queen in the building, representing all platforms, advocating for all children, including those with special needs. Y'all already know.
All right, so Anthony, we glad to have you. What brings you here to the podcast today, other than her?
Networking and sharing what I got going on, how we can work with each
Right?
other.
You know, come on. Please get Zeke.
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
the wrestler.
You can come in.
Let me let her
Yes,
real
we
fast.
got
Excuse
people,
me.
you know how we do. We do a live audience. So keep talking. The audience is still listening to you.
Yeah, so I'm a versatile fitness my brand
Versatile Fitness. Where's it? Where you located at?
in Westville. It's like about 15 minutes from here.
Exactly.
The address is 1200 Delsey Drive, Suite 10.
1200 Delsey Drive. Sweet 10, Versatile Fitness.
Yes.
Is that near the 295 entrance?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where it is right there. I got it. Yeah, we did a little bit of live Instagram today as well.
Yes.
Great.
You can come over here if you want.
Oh, no.
You sure? Yeah. So like we were saying, this is a community-based podcast where we try to bring awareness to different brands, anything that's on your heart, anything that can help the community, even if it don't help the community. It's all about you here. You know what I mean? So we invite different guests to come on. I call them get featured guests. So today, Anthony McFadden.
Yes.
Our get featured guest.
Like he said, his fitness center is at 1200 Delcia Drive. People go over there. He has so much. Listen, I need to really introduce this man. This is Anthony McFadden. We grew up together. He has a very, very dark, deep background on just coming from the streets, and it led him into incarceration. I'm gonna tell you a story because it need to be told. He came from incarceration. This man, I titled him an honorable man because he did not let his situation or his circumstances stop him from getting to where he saw his vision at. This man was locked up, did some time. While he was in there, he didn't let it mentally take him out, which it would have. We already talk about a lot of trauma and how trauma leads you to pipeline in prison. This is actually it. It led him to pipeline to prison. He spent a lot of time in there, but he didn't let it take him out. So let's talk about that.
How did you do it? Walk us in. I mean, you don't have to tell us every step, but because some of us can't get over this.
Nah, listen. So I don't. That's why I have no problem sharing the story because I know it can help people as well as it helped me. You know what I'm saying? I'm still living through my own story. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was out in the streets, and it took prison to bring me here to this mindset, to this way I'm living. You know what I mean? So it's like in there, it's really nothing to do. You know what I mean? You either go on. You're getting in more trouble, gambling, reading a lot, or you can work out. So I started working out as a hobby, just like following what everybody else was doing. But I was getting a feeling from it, like a feeling of hope.
Everybody don't get that.
You know what I mean? Like I had a 14-year sentence. You know what I'm saying? It was like I felt like I would never see the streets again. You know what I mean? It really felt like that. But going through the time, and so when I start working out, it made me not think about it. And I was just pushing through the days. And I was like, I don't get this positive energy, this positive feeling from doing this. You know what I mean? So I'm learning what the workout do for your body firsthand.
Because you had to let go of the stuff that was outside and you had to grab onto something.
Yes. So like in that process, it was like I was meeting other people, and I was in feds. I did federal time. So the difference is you meet people from all over the world. Mm-hmm. I'm just not locked up with people from Canada, people from Jersey. I'm meeting all different mindsets, different energies, and I'm really like learning about the world while I'm in jail. So I started out working out as a hobby, You know what I'm saying? But I was loving the feeling, loving the results, getting my body right, my mind. I just feel so positive. Like so, after a while, I had messed up at this one prison I was at. They sent me to another jail, and I started learning. I started reading about working out. Now I don't went from just doing it as a hobby to now I'm getting the knowledge. You know what I mean? And I remember they had sent me to Ohio, which was a jail where I finished my time at. And that's where I started training people, meeting different people that was taking the training serious, who had some gyms on the street. I never felt like I would make it to that far because I never did nothing legal to believe in anything legal. You get what I'm saying? I never lived before I came home from jail. I never seen a check, nothing. So I ain't know nothing about the work world until I got there. Working for $1 an hour, you know what I'm
So it just
saying?
made you stop and think,
Yeah,
actually.
definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Way thinking.
So then he hit the streets, and like how men do when they come out of incarceration, especially because now that's all he knew was the prison. They usually go back, but Ant said no, he's not going back. He started putting his workouts up on
Yeah, but
his
who
social media.
believed in you? This is what I'm saying.
I
You
felt
had
like everybody
14
believed
years
in him
sentence.
like that.
You did something. You know, I'm not digging in your
Nah,
thing.
nah.
But you did something,
Yeah.
and then you came up out of here. Who believed in you? What you got out?
I'm gonna say really, I can't really say nobody believed because
I know that had to be hard.
I had to build the belief.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I just, like she said, I started working out, just put
Yeah, and then
videos
just
up.
go like that. And
Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah. It was-
No, he had to fight through some channels.
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
Nobody was on his side. I
Oh,
know
definitely.
Definitely on it.
Well, you know how most things is. First, they watch, they spectate, they seeing where he going at with it. But once they seen that, like, he ain't going back,
They seen that, yeah, you got to tell him, you know what I mean?
and he pressed against that, and then he got a job as a gym, like he was working in a fitness gym, right? The only gym that will hire you.
Yeah, so what happened was, as soon as I hit the halfway house, I was so determined that I already had got my trainer license before I left the prison. And I had 2 years of training people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like everything happened for a reason. When I messed up at that one jail and got kicked out, that was the best thing that happened for me because the next jail I went to, I was training people. So my last 2 years, I got the experience of transforming people's bodies. So when I came out, it was like, all right, I love it so much. I'm gonna just try it as a hobby. I'm not really looking at owning nothing. I'm just looking at doing something I'm like doing that I feel comfortable doing, getting paid for. So I'm looking at it in that sense. And Giant Fitness, like I take my hat off to them because I still had the braces on my leg and they hired me. You know what I mean? They could have turned me down. So they let me in there. And from there, everything.
Shout out to Giant Fitness.
Yeah.
Shout out to Giant Fitness.
I definitely get that.
Yeah, that's
you know
the
what I'm
name of
saying?
that place over there.
They let me in there for about 60 to 90 days. And what happened, this is a true story. They had the owner, you know what I mean? I'm not really just going to say he's racist, but a situation occurred where after I was there for about 60 to 90 days, he hired his son to come in and control the company. His son, they got rid of all of us. But I was thinking ahead, I was like, and how I was thinking ahead, the complex I was living in had a gym there. So I said, all right, I looked at the prices that Giant Fitness charging the people that they got me charging them. And I'm really getting paid nothing compared to what they take. So I'm looking at that. It's kind of discouraging me at the same time, but I'm like, I'm gonna give this a shot. You know what I mean? So I started telling a couple of the clients I had, look, you come to me where I live at, I'll charge you this. You know what I'm saying? Not thinking I'm gonna get kicked out or none of that. So I did that. So when it happened to kick us out, I already had 2 people that believed in me, that came with me to where I live and start working from there. And it's like, it's crazy.
It goes up there. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now he has the gym that's been successful for how many years now?
October made 4 years.
October made 4 years that he has now established his versatile fitness at 1200 Delcia Drive. And then more importantly, the part that really got me is that he didn't forget the most important people in the community, which is the children. He decided and said, you know what? I'm gonna bring these children over here and I'm gonna show them about being fit, and I'm gonna teach them about defense, and I'm gonna give them an outlook. And so now he started basically taking the children over there, and he took one of the greatest boxes we got coming out of Camden out there, and now they train, right? So how's that go?
What we do is during the pandemic, like I always already had this idea of I want to be able to bring kids from the community to the gym. You know what I mean? But so I didn't do it my first 2 years at the gym. You know what I mean? The timing is crazy how everything worked because when the pandemic hit, I went to the car lot and I was like looking for a big van. So I told the dealership, I said, I'm looking for a van so I can transport kids to the gym. And this is more of staying open-minded because what I got from him, he was like, well, look, you can do that, but why not make it a transportation company too? You know what I'm saying? Being so you already got the gym, you can get the van, open up the transportation as another company and still serve your company. They'll be both yours, but two different LLCs.
Yes.
I was like, wow. So when that happened, I still didn't get the van right then and there. I looked, it didn't work right then and there, but I kept that information he gave me.
Yes.
So when the pandemic hit, that's when I finally got the van. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use one van, I'm gonna transport the kids to the gym and do what he said. And it's been just going from there. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, because you know what? Each and every one of those kids needed you. Each and every one that stepped foot in the gym, or even if they even thought about it, even if they didn't make it, they needed you. You know what I mean? It's a great service. And nobody, I'm not physically fit or nothing like that, but I do know the importance of being healthy and taking care of your physical. But
yeah, it's just bringing awareness to the community. You know what I mean? Like everybody's not going to be. We wasn't taught health. Like if I didn't go there, I wouldn't be into health. You know what I'm saying? So
stuff like that.
yeah.
And we don't work out and stuff. We don't. Yeah. We have the highest rate for ailments and diseases as a black race, and I think that's a good thing. So, like, I mean, how many kids do you train now?
Like it goes up and down, but we just stay active. Like we're in 2 schools now, so we're in Thomas Dudley and Cooper's Point.
Okay.
So the whole goal is like when September comes, even though I'm working on the summer program to still be connected to the kids and have something for them to do in the summer, but I'm working on trying to get this South Jersey, like where we can be working inside all the schools, giving kids what we know from health to staying out of the streets because we got both experience. Me and my partner, Prince Badi, you know what I'm saying? We've been on both sides. We've been in prison and we've been in the streets and now we're on the legal side of things. So which is more better to learn from somebody who experienced all of that? You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, Camden County got some jewels, okay?
Yes.
Jewels that have been hidden, okay? But they are no longer hidden because we are bringing these things out so that you can know about them, enhance your lives by being involved, and you can't get no more greater satisfaction than being involved with the community, and giving back, that well, I don't know about y'all. Well, I do know about y'all, but it's kind of it makes me, to be able to see somebody else smile or however,
Absolutely. That's what brings me. That's what drives me too.
Yeah. So and since I've been doing these things, I also listen to learn so I can take care of myself as well.
Right.
Right. I learned a lot more things about myself and take care of myself. I think it'll better from that.
So what does the gym offer? Like, what do you
So-
offer at your gym right now?
We offer classes, personal training. You know what I mean? Like, you could, personal training got different packages. You work for that person's time, and then we got a class schedule that I'm updating now, or as new classes and different things like that. So I'll have that out on Facebook and Instagram.
About how many people per class do you normally have?
I mean, sometimes it can be 5, 10, 15,
Okay.
you know, and with the weather breaking down, it can be more outside. So looking to have a lot of people coming to the classes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the children boxing classes, the first class is free,
Yeah.
and then the transport is free too on that same day. What day is that?
So we got Monday, Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30, and Saturday and Sunday at 11.
No. What areas do you pick kids up?
Right now we all in Camden and Williamstown and Cyprian.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to find like a base spot because we just sampling it now as far as going door to door, and you know it could get a little hefty with
Yeah.
that. So because I got a van picking up in Camden that's working that area, then I got another van working down in them areas. But I still need, like in Cyprian, Williamstown, I still need a center part where parents can bring their kids right there and you can pick them up all at once. So that way we ain't missing out on time and stuff.
Yeah, so if you watching this and you in that area and you know somewhere where we can safely have Aunt pick up the children and take them over to the fitness gym for their boxing class, please reach out to Aunt. Before we move further, I want you to give them your contact information so like that they can start at least getting the contact information.
All right, so my Facebook, I got 2 pages. I got my personal page, Anthony McFadden, and then I got the Versatile Fitness page. And on Instagram, it's Ant Workout. And the prices is, if you bring in your kid, it's $125 a month, unlimited classes. But if we picking them up, it's $250 a month for the transportation.
So also too, you have a clothing line that you have brought out.
This the brand.
Yes.
Black,
This the
white,
brand.
and green.
He
I
has
was
a
checking
apparel
it out.
company.
Yeah.
And
Is that your official colors?
I mean,
he has all kind of colors.
Yeah.
He's versatile, like he said.
No, so he's versatile.
just pushing the
I
brand
like the name. How'd you get that name?
from my lifestyle. My lifestyle is versatile. The streets, jail, on the legal side, so you got to be able to adapt at all times. You know,
Good concept. Good
that's where it
concept.
came from, to be honest.
Good concept. Y'all call in with your questions.
Yes.
856-964-WCMD. If you have any questions for Anthony McFadden, myself, or the Mobile Queen, give us a call. Now I'm gonna ask the question now about physical health relating to mental health. What how does that intertwine? Like what's that? I can tell. How does that intertwine? Like, does it help us? You know, being physical, does that help our mental?
Definitely, because you look at it like this. As I was saying earlier, when I was in prison, you got to think my mental is at its worst.
Yeah.
But I built it through the workout. You know what I mean, through the workout, it just made my mental positive. So that's where I believe that exercise is going to probably number one stress. You know what
I
I'm saying?
would think so.
Because it's you releasing through the workout, you're releasing the endorphins, which is something like tension. You know how you can be bottled up or something? It's like a relief, but a constant release because you're always working on your body. So it's like when you face with problems, through the exercise, I done found that it pushes things away. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but that's how deep I got into it. You got to stay working out because it's going to bring that positive mindset. It's going to bring that self-esteem that some people may be lacking. You know what I mean? I know that was my main go-to to help me get through the time. You know, even though I may only work out an hour a day, it's just where it took my mental. It's a blessing. Like it's hard to explain.
My daughter
that
works at. I mean, you know, I see a lot of changes in her when she first started working out too. Where I get what you're saying. So yeah, my daughter, she works out. She trains a little bit.
And just staying active it keeps you going in other areas. You get what I'm saying? If you're working out, you got that energy to do other stuff at your job. You know what I'm saying? So it helps out.
Like drives and all that stuff. I'm like, what is that? Then they go, I'm like, we going to carnival. I'm like, what is you talking about? The carnival. I'm like, next thing you know, they all up in the parade and whatnot. I'm like, okay, y'all got that. Because they work out and they got the stamina to do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We ain't gonna walk the parade because we tired. We don't work out and we don't you know what I mean? We gonna sit down on the sidelines.
Okay.
Listen, I just be getting tired looking at it and like, oh God, here go it again. Putting pressure on my legs all the way at home. Like I'm coming and I be, oh my God, I'm like, I got to go.
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? It's your boy Paper Man back with a banging man. You know what it is. You know what time it is. And here, you know, Nika and everybody, we doing our thing today. You know, I came in, you know, seeing y'all happy faces and stuff like that. So I'm eager to know what y'all talking about.
So we're happy because Anthony McFadden here, he's the owner of Versatile Fitness.
Okay.
He's been telling us how
well,
y'all got something in common.
He
had a 14-year
He
bid.
did 14 years in federal prison.
Put it like that. He flipped it.
Right.
He flipped it.
That's it.
He flipped it and reversed it because now he's building and building and building and he ain't going back.
There's no doubt. You know, that's how you gotta be.
Yeah.
You get that wisdom from within. You
Yes.
know, either you gonna come out a better criminal.
Unlike you, look, unlike Baby's taking HVAC, he worked out and made a business out of it.
You know,
He made a business out of working out. That's where he took his mind. You had told us before when you was telling your story papers that when you checked in, you checked out. That always stood out to me when you said that. What did you mean by it? Tell us.
But when I checked in, I checked out.
Yeah.
Oh, because I told it. You know how I told it. I basically went to prison and just took it as a 4-year college period. That's it. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing 4 to 6 years, 6 to 10. You know, like whatever. Like you know what I'm saying. But it's a college one. So I'm coming here to study. Yeah. I study the person, study the man, study myself, find myself, find my purpose. You know, and use it, take that negative and use it as
definitely the same thing.
Formation, you know, reformation.
How you doing?
You know, take something, so when I went in, I said, "Oh, I'm going to college. What's the rest? I'm here. First year, I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna get in all the fights, knock out whoever I gotta do, whatever I gotta do. I'm gonna party like a rock star. You feel what I'm saying? Let you know who I am. Yeah, that's you know what I'm saying? And then after that, once you set the tone, you set the rest of the beat. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta set the tone. Because they're gonna set the tone for you on the rip as soon as you get in there. So you gotta take it and use it for something good.
Well, I definitely feel like y'all did something good, and me just working, you know, with the juvenile justice system and seeing how that plays a part and how the adjudication holds our children back, and that becomes a mental impairment in itself because their children are already still trying to find their way, and then you know, minorities to be given so much time. I sit in there and I be wanting to sit back and say, wait, let me be their lawyer because y'all not doing this right. Y'all about to send my child to prison for a long time, and I feel like even as men, they don't give you enough leeway to make the correct decision. Like they just go ahead and just go by the book and just slam the book, especially on us as minorities. I like to look at the demographics. I like to look at the family dynamics. I like to look at the behaviors, all of that. What was you doing even while you was out there? The demographics of our city. Okay, it's already a trauma-infested city. We already have so many people with mental impairments in the city. Okay, and then that was his outlet to basically make his money in the city. We come from a city that has poverty, environmental poverty. So 14 years for you to go in for 14 years and be able to say, okay, my mental state is basically at a standstill. I'm in this position. I've never been in this position before. All I was trying to do is make a living, and what the only circumstances they gave me inside of the community was this outlet. But you know what? I'm not coming back here no more because this I already know. I already know poverty. I already know my environment. I already know that I don't want to keep on giving them another one person more for the statistic. I'm going to come out and I'm going to show y'all how that my mental state is really going to be. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to become versatile.
Let me explain. When I got the 14-year sentence, this is another part of the story. After I was in there about 3 years, that's when Obama came in. 5. Obama came in and passed the crack law, right? Yes. My 14-year sentence went to 12. Then right before he left, 2 years later, they readjusted it. And I got down to 10 because how it was is I couldn't get under the 10-year sentence unless I became a snitch. You feel me? And that was not even part of the plan. So when I got the 14, they was only able to go down to the 10. So when Obama came in, that happened both times. I got down to the 10 and I did 8. Other than that, I was still been in there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know the blessings of the story. All this is documented. It's on Google, like the paper's big. You know, it's in the papers in 2005. All that, yeah.
I feel like would y'all be able to say like, you know, because I know both of y'all believe in a higher being, y'all believe in God. Y'all feel like God reserved y'all at that point because he knew he had something better for y'all? Because I feel like y'all both successful.
That's
y'all
what
both right.
No,
because I just feel like, you know what? I need you to sit down and I need you to go ahead and like it did not do what it was designed to do for y'all. That's what I'm saying. Like I just need to know that y'all, you know, of course y'all had to keep y'all faith in God. How did that feel on just keeping your faith and knowing that you was gonna come out and not go back?
Listen, just
did you lose it?
Listen, I prayed 5 times a day for 6 years straight. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was times I had slipped up, you know, but he was on my top. Right. You know what I mean? Like when I got this box, when I finally got this box, like last week or whatever, I seen my prostration mark, and I'm like, wow, like you feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn. And you know the distractions, you feel what I'm saying? When you come out here, I mean, I could say that prison really is. I don't hate on it. I don't hate on it because you can go in there and find yourself. Because the meditation that you can do in there. Go in there and you, like you said, you check in and you check out, and you take your brain out of there. You can really find a lot, and prison can consolidate you. It's not happening. My time. You know, my
so he said he wanted his cellmate to be a lifer.
You said?
You said that.
Oh yeah, because they basically, you know what I mean. They already set the tone. They already, you know. They're not too rowdy. They're not, you know what I mean? One little thing. All right, you already know, like, if you took it, you're going to be, you know, anyway. You know what I'm saying? But you go in there because they can give you substance. They can give you knowledge, they can give you wisdom, all that stuff, and then, you know, prioritize you, and then, like, at the same time, mold you, too, because you can have that father figure that you never had. Yeah. You can have that uncle that you never had, that brother that you never had. You can get all that rolled in one. If you go in there and you know what I mean? You get a nice like that.
But there's the bad side too. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. Oh, nah. Listen,
everybody don't come out on top like this.
No. You got to be. Yeah. It takes a lot.
Like to piggyback off of what he was saying, as far as like the being around the life and the different knowledge you get. You did state time. Mm-hmm. So the difference in state and federal, it's a ton of life. Like it's a lot of people with a lot of time. It's a lot of time. So
it's not funny,
I say that to say,
you can't pick and choose it.
You the same way he said he wanted to have a life around him and get that knowledge forever. Like, my first experience when I left FDC was with the Holding Center in Philly to go to Fort Dix to start my 14-year sentence. I met a guy from Philly who became like to be like my big brother because he was the first one to like tell me how to move in this room. We was in the dormitory with 14 people, and he was the first one to tell me how things go up in there, how they had their own rules and different things like that. And what stood out to me the most when I asked him how much time he had, he told me 35 years, right?
Oh, wow.
And he had, at that time, he had my whole sentence in the prison. So when he told me he got 14 and a half years in, I'm like, it made me feel like ain't no way I can't make it through mine.
Right.
If he got double this left,
Right.
you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yo.
so it was like I got struck from that. And me and him was together from that day on, 5 years, until I got kicked. I went to the camp and then I got kicked out the camp. But we stayed tight. So to speak on him, he's humble. So I'm like, how is he like 35 years? I never seen him get mad in my whole 5 years there. So that was like mental, you know what I'm saying? Because I can imagine. I know what I'm waking up to looking at my release sheet. So I can imagine how he's feeling, but just to see how positive he was, I gravitated to that. And I say that to say he had 35 years. His name Tyrone Brown. He got a book out. I'm promoting him because he made it out of there. He had got a few years ago they had passed a law. He had got like 8 years knocked off. He came out. He did 25 years. I left him back in 2010. Yeah, that's when I left. But I say that to say you meet some powerful people in there. I mean, like you said, big brothers. If you have a father figure in your role, you may meet them type of people that look over you. You know what I mean? Like don't follow that crowd. Don't get in trouble.
And federal prison, you got people in there that, you know, some blue collar people and stuff.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
Mhm.
Don't get it twisted. Yeah.
Some of them are got like
Right.
I knew a dude that was
Big
in the feds all the
corporation.
time when he was in state. And I used to, my lawyer used to send my stuff through the mail. He was the only one that could get stuff through the mail. So I was the only person in the state prison with checks. I was signing checks. And, oh, yeah, what you got? Yeah, I signed a check. Like, damn, hey, yeah, send that going out to your girl. Yeah, what's up? With the boys, they used to want, they big on stamps. Big on stamps. They move different. The federal prison guy, you can tell, they move different, more efficient. You feel what I'm saying? They want bigger and better things. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's a different type of narrative. You feel what I'm saying? They're more open to things. They're more so in state. You know what I mean? State, you just like a crab in a barrel. You know what I mean? Veg, you got more walk leg, you got more room, you got more, you get your food right then and there. You go to catch out, you get your food right then and there, commissary right then and there. Up there, you got to wait long, so it's like it's crabs in the barrel. So we fighting different than they are. That's what we always used to say, man, they should have just gave me fed time. But see, my situation was you can tell on the people, you feel what I'm saying, and we get, you know, we get you the fed time. Or you know what I'm saying? Or do this state time right here that you gonna get. I got 16 and 32. All 4 age ran together. But she didn't want to run them together because of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But my lawyer kept me out on the streets for 4 years. He said, what you want me to do? You books out. I said, listen, just give me some time so I can make some money. That's it. Bought me 4 years, I made $250,000. You know what I'm saying? My last year. Boom. My previous was good. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, that shit still didn't matter. You know what I mean? It was different. I'd rather had took the fed time, but I didn't want to tell anybody. The fuck I'm gonna tell him? I don't give a fuck if he a cop. What the fuck am I telling him for? You know what I'm saying? If I told on him, that would have brought other people that was affiliated that got me in and all that. Nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna go do this time. I'm gonna stand strong like I already did. Me and my wife put the case. I took the case. I ain't like gonna see her in prison, but they knew what it was hitting for, so that's why they still gave us the $10,000 bail a piece. Boom, yeah, we out the next day. Yeah, we ain't got no rap. Yo, come here, and then make it happen. But that's neither here or there. At the end of the day, I wasn't going to let my family get punked into doing something that you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You know how we gotta talk about these situations. You can't really get into detail, but it's crazy, man. You know, and I wasn't going to let nobody else take my family away from me. I took myself away from my family so they could be all still solid together.
And that's what, I take a lot of time to talk to youth, like, that I see on the street, it's heading down the wrong way. I mean, me, myself, most of y'all know I already suffer from PTSD from a younger age, and like it was leading me towards that road. I was catching already a charge. I was in the street. I was already catching charges as a juvenile. And every time my mom asked me what was wrong with me, I couldn't explain to her what was wrong with me because I didn't even know what was going wrong. But more importantly, I think what saved me was that I was a girl. So like I had more things to do, like more so the women were more women in my family than the men. There was really not a lot of men. So it wasn't more so like let him be. Like a lot of things that I can't really stand at the guy saying in the street, the streets will teach them what to do. Like, what I'm saying? Let the streets teach them. Like, nah. The streets ain't going
I don't think like that no more.
I'm trying to save them now. Yeah, so, now I tell the guys, like, listen, I might not be a man, but I'm going to tell you right here, right now. I have been at that courthouse, and I've seen what they do to children just like y'all. It's deeper than just missing your mom. It's deeper than missing your family. You're going to miss your youth. You're going to miss your childhood over this. And I'm telling you right now, what can I do in a situation to make things lighter? Like, even if it doesn't have to do with money, what can I do to improve your mental state? I might not have money, but there's resources here. I'm telling them my background story. I came from that. I understand it. And I'm not exactly where I need to be, but I'm right here. Well, I can bring you right here with me. You never too young to get right here.
Oh, here go the number one thing. Who won 21 cases and only beat 2 of them? Who won that?
Right.
That's on my
record. You don't want that.
I got 21 cases. I only beat 2.
My friend, she went to jail 18 times. She's a big businesswoman. So things can be turned around, but we don't want nobody to get it twisted that, it's good to go to prison, then you can make something out of yourself. This was a struggle, and this is the reason why these gentlemen are giving back to the youth to save them from these situations. Right. Now, y'all might think that we preaching and and nagging, but it's about saving the young lives.
Because you're gonna go in, you're gonna be hard. You're gonna go in there, you're gonna have your moment. Nigga, you gonna be in that cell, nigga, by yourself.
Yeah, but you gotta wait till you get beat up and abused by the other ones first.
You're gonna be crying.
Get through it.
You're like, damn, I should have
everything that you see on TV, you gotta go through first to survive it.
Listen, so you know what? Talking about that and talking about the dark past and everything like that. Now we're going to talk about some light stuff because I talk about light. Now Ant has now seen the light, and now he wants to bring other people to the light. So how we talk about mental impairment and stuff like that, he's taking action on that. Now on April 16th, I'm an invited guest speaker. He's going to actually welcome and inviting people from in the community to come to the fitness center where he's going to have a day of business and mental health. He's going to teach you how to go ahead and get yourself legalized so you can be able to start your own business. There's going to be plenty of business people there that's going to teach, show you how you can get your legal documentations, how to where we failed at in starting businesses, how we thrive now, how we keep the consistency on the business platform, what you should do next, what you shouldn't do, what was our mistakes, and then in the mental health aspect. How to keep yourself mental healthy, how you keep yourself mentally stable throughout all of it, because you go from mental impairment, from environmental poverty, then now you're trying to start a business. That's definitely taking on your mental health as well. So we just want to encourage them from both aspects. Look, we've been here. We've been here. So let's go ahead and work together and network together, and let's get ourselves all to the next level, because he has some information that I don't have, and then I have information that he might not have. Then the next person that's coming in, they might have information. So if we all go and come out to event.
Right while we talking about that.
Yes.
I don't want to do it on the 16th only because I want to give it some weeks of promotion. Okay. Right now, while we got this platform, this is the promotion right here. So I was thinking in May, right while we on here, you just let me know if this worked for you.
open more in May than I am in April.
Yeah, I tell you about
You
it.
available May
That's what you're
7th?
saying.
We can do it the 7th or the 14th.
14th.
All right, the 14th. That way, we can get a lot more people involved. Because I feel like this is gonna be powerful.
So you looking for vendors or what?
Yeah.
What tell us what how you want? You know, what's the day
So I'm
gonna
gonna
be?
reach out to a few vendors. You know what I'm saying? That have different things going on, but I'm gonna set it up with my township because more than likely we'll have the vendors outside. The weather be nice. We'll have a lot more vendors. So I'm working on how many vendors we can have, but we definitely gonna have it that day. May 14th. We talking business, health, and mental health. You can't lose with those topics. You cannot lose with those topics. You know what I'm saying? Like all
That's
that
all
in one
we
go
doing.
together.
You're just trying to set everybody up for success. Well, other people is willing to pay like top dollar just to basically land you on paper. That's it. We want you not only to be legalized on paper, we want you to be actually moving your business from small business to corporation to basically getting the sky. Is definitely no limits in the sky, so don't stop there. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a business and you want to start a business, you just want to come and take notes, come and take the notes because it's going to be so many people there with so much information. We talking about from vendors. We talking about people that have been through businesses. We talking about people that got multiple businesses like Anthony McFadden. We talking about people that give back to the community. How is your business? Your business is considered a source, and how you can give back to resources, which is nonprofit organization like I am a founder of. How can you make your dollar work for you, and how can you keep on building your dollar? And what's that going to look like when it comes to retirement and things of that nature? Let's think about it.
Now's the time, since the pandemic and everything changed. A lot of doors have opened up for the opportunities in business. A lot of businesses have folded, which opened up, a pathway for new businesses. Exactly. So, we're taking advantage of the opportunities that we never looked at before. And, within this little room here, we've been touching base on different departments, different grants, different things that you need to be knowledgeable about. You know what I mean? That we're not going to get to you within 2 hours of broadcast. So you have to come out and you have to join some of these events, these expos, these seminars, and the things that we have in order to get the information. I mean, we can hold things up, but you probably can't see them from there. You gotta come in. That's right.
Yes,
right.
Come in.
That's right. You gotta come in.
Yes. Follow Anthony McFadden on his page. He gave you his business page. He gave you his location, which is 1200 Delcia Drive. You could contact me. I'll make sure that he gets the information. You can contact the Comfort Level Podcast. Make sure everybody has the information. Listen, people, we're willing to get you to the next level, but it's ultimately up to you to get to the next level. Because we have talked about our past on here. We talked about where we came from. So anything is possible. The game can change at any moment. These men is talking about how the game changed for them in prison, in incarceration. That's a time where there ain't no game. The game's supposed to be over. But they found their game in there. They found the game. Right. And they educated themselves and they came back. And now they not only have established themselves as businessmen, and I want to say honorable businessmen because I know how dark that place can get. So honorable businessmen. And then now they have given back to their community in more ways and fashions that even people that have not even been to prison can do. So we definitely need to be supporting them in any adventures or anything that they have going on at any space, even if it comes to traveling, willing to travel. I want to take the time out right now and to thank you so much for always supporting my organization, Rare Jewel nonprofit organization that we have here in the city of Camden. I did give you a shout out when we was in Massachusetts. We used his versatile fitness van. It came through for me greatly because I'm just that person that thinks out of all of my needs. So when I was coming short on money, Aunt was like, listen, I'll front you the other half and you can use my van. So that was like respect right there on 1,000 levels. So from Rare Jewel Nonprofit Organization, we like to recognize you and give you this award. Thank you so much. I got the one that's written, but I had to bring that one that's the sample one. But I do have your written one. And it's time for this man to now get what needs to be given to him. He needs his recognition. And I'm going to make sure that he gets his recognition, and I'm going to step up and be the first one to give him his recognition because he does so much for this community. And I just love what you're doing, and I would say keep on doing it because people out here are definitely looking at you. But more importantly, the children are looking up to you. That's more important. Like, don't worry about the people that are looking at you. These children are going to remember you forever. And that makes you legendary. So,
all right.
Yeah.
You really deserve that.
Yes.
That really is great.
So you keep that one until I give you the other one. I'll see you on May 14th with the original one.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take that one back until then.
It's special. I like the show got going on.
So yeah, thank you for coming through for the for the Comfort Level podcast. We promote positivity, of course, and we just want to make people aware of their mental health and where they at. We want to meet them where they at in their mental health and teach them how to keep on moving forward. And it's okay that you have a mental impairment. It's okay to basically come out and seek that assistance and that help because that's going to make you mental healthy enough and mentally stable to move forward and what you want to do and build a legacy for your family.
And let me add something more to that. Another thing I'm getting into. It may start in May. I'm gonna say it's gonna start, God willing, in June because we already got something planned for May. But I'm putting a mental health program together for like once a month starting out. But I know we're gonna do more days for the men because it's nothing out there. Like not too many men want to go and sit and tell their life story to a woman.
I knew you.
You get what I'm saying? It's
true.
nothing against the woman.
Come on with it, and because
we've
we've been trying to learn the way to slide that.
Yeah, we got it. So I said, you know what? I'm going
take
strictly
you.
for the men. I'm going strictly. We're going to talk about everything.
Okay, we got the women
where you can feel like you can just come there.
Right. we got the women.
Y'all got the
We got the
women right here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take on the men so we can talk about the obstacles of prison. How to get back reconnected with your kids, you know what I'm saying? How to make your money work for you, all kinds of angles that men stay quiet about. Yeah. Because it's hard to get to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I know what a lot of men go through. So it's a lot of bottled up stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got a platform where you can release that and get some stuff back for your mind. How can you release?
Y'all better step up in here at the Comfort Level podcast because I'm gonna tell you.
Because like we still be dealing with, I'm still
pride.
dealing with mental health problems from prison, from you know what I'm saying, just life expectancy, you know, already. But it's just like, you know, just going in there and just seeing and the harsh reality of it all. You feel what I'm saying? And what the fuck we had to endure, like I ain't never had to sit in a fucking closet and fucking inhale fucking sewer shit for a whole month. Yeah. Your fucking stomach squeezing, you can't do nothing about it. You gotta sleep.
It's not
shit,
funny, but
the same shit. It's smell the shit all day. Like that shit fucks with your mental. It fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I have those difficulties pop up at the wrong times. Like sometimes I'll be like, I'm there, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden my mental take over, and then I'm just like a fucking, I'm like a melting fucking wizard, like the melting Wizard of Oz, bitch, like just melting, like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm melting, I'm trying to like get myself together, and then I really can't get myself together until I've actually lost everything, and then I'm on a mission to fight to get back. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's just where and then now it kicks in. It's like, come on, you just had it and got there. Yeah. Now you just turned it off for what? Like, why didn't you just keep going? And it's like, you know, we need to talk because it's two things that women and babies are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved by what he can provide. So that means that all his pain that he goes through, he can't come talk to you about it because you don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, especially when you're to that point and you're like, I don't care what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Can I come and express myself to you? You don't give a shit. So that means, you know what? I don't give a shit neither. Because I'm feeding off of you. So if you got a chick, and a chick sometimes with a chick, she be like, oh, you changed. Nah, I act like you. Because real, in the
Yes,
now you act real, when that shit was the table was turned, when everything was up, you was trying to act like me. Now you all, now she hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm my wife. I hate to say it, but in the beginning, when I was facing all that time, man, I was like going through it. And in the beginning, I was cool. I'm like, listen, babe, chill. She was. It's my fault. And I'm like, chill. Like, you got to be strong. I'm strong right now. But I wasn't even thinking. I'm on my 4-year hiatus trying to, buy me some time so I can make this bread. And I'm like not caring. And then till it got down to the end. And then I started to change. The tide changed. She started acting like me in the beginning, and I started acting like her in the end. So at the end, I went into prison better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not knowing nothing. I snorted a whole fucking line. The first time for everything. I snorted a bag of my own shit.
He annoyed.
My own shit all the way to court. And the bus kept breaking down like every 3 blocks. I swear to God, I got there late. My judge, I'm calling my lawyer like, yo, tell this, like, y'all want to talk to the acceptable? Yo, get on the phone, tell the judge. Look, he tell the judge, listen, the drone keep breaking down, but he keeps starting up, so we just drive. We ain't calling nobody. Come out. She like, you better get down. I get down there. This bitch broke my bell. So what I do? I'm coked out of my mind, not knowing what's going on. I just blew $20,000 at the casino. You know what I'm saying? Like 8 days of just blowing money. I was up for 8 days. For the last 3 days, I snorted coke. I was lit. I ain't never smoked coke in a day in my life. I always tasted it. You know what I'm saying? Bagging up. I was like, dude,
for sure.
Yeah.
She revoked my bell. I said, bitch, I wanted to go to jail. Like, how you gonna revoke my bell? With the reason you keep thinking I'm a game, Mr. Gardner, revoke his bell, send him away. I'm like, I was snatched away. So I wasn't even prepared. You know what I mean? So it was just like, oh, you keep playing me because you got all these open cases. So you try. It's a such thing called a nebula. You gotta wait for a nebula to come back. When they try to combine the case, they can't send you to jail yet. Because they gotta combine the case. They can sentence you, but they can't send you to jail yet because they gotta combine the other case because you got a nebula. And they gotta wait for the nebula to come back on the case. So they gotta wait. And then she thinking I'm playing the game. And I went to the next court date like, listen, I'm not taking it. I'm fighting this. And she like, oh, for real? Boom. When she see me again, she said, oh, where you want to play games like that? Here you go. Bow. Snatch him away. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, by the time, I think it was like, I probably got like another 7 months before I got sentenced. And then when I was in there, I'm in the prison. I got sentenced. I'm just like, you sitting in the hole, you like, damn, I'm not coming home.
Well, going back
that messes with your mental. So I just want to break down the point that I was trying to make. That I'm glad that somebody out there is trying to help the man now,
right?
Because we the backbone of everything. We endured so much.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? For the woman to get what she got, we had to endure so much. Our people, our forefathers endured so much pain. We talking about hundreds of years of kinetic energy being passed down through generation. You feel what I'm saying? For y'all to get where y'all get, and for us to get, so it's like we need the help now. Shit gotta come full circle. We need help now. You know what I'm saying? They've been getting the help for years. Like for years, we need help.
We gonna have
the man needs help.
Well, listen, papers, if it makes any difference, on April 21st, here at the Comfort Level Podcast, we're gonna have the traumatic brain injury versus trauma care seminar, where we're gonna dig deep into the neurological process and talk about how you became manic for 8 days and it led you to snort and coke. Undiagnosed. So my whole mission is to basically bring that awareness for our inner communities that have people of color that are either misdiagnosed or undiagnosed for mental impairment. So we digging deep for traumatic brain injury versus trauma care then it leads to mental impairment versus abnormal use, which one of them just so happens to be drug abuse. Then it's increase in sexual desires, alcoholism, and ultimately death. So you know, I do all that to basically go ahead and say, okay, now I have informed you. Now go ahead and reform yourself. Go ahead. Now you can go ahead and go look at for trauma-based therapists. Find yourself a trauma-based therapist. Go ahead and get yourself some mental stability. So like that you can be able to move forward and they can't knock you off of whatever you feel. You know how you feel. You know the emotions inwards and outwards. You know where it led you at, where it's leading you at. Now you can go ahead and you can inform and reform yourself, because that's my whole key. It's to start giving people the knowledge here in the city of Camden, because we under so much day to day that they don't think that we have emotions for it still.
We're all going to explode.
You know what I'm saying?
Man explode. When they finally, everybody lid just start popping all like around the fucking world, then that's when they gonna go on the fucking mayhem. They gonna be like, oh my god, we got emergency, please,
call everyone in.
Like try to like contain them, please, like, but we're gonna fucking blow. And what they don't, that's what they need to fear. We will blow, and when we blow, it's a wrap.
And I'm trying to stop that paper. I want you to blow up in a different way.
But we all come. See, listen, let me tell you something about. Even though we might be winning and we might be doing what we do, it's still in the back of your mind. It's still something that hinders you. It's still something that's going on, because we portray such a, mama say don't let them know when you down, right? You feel what I'm saying? Even though, you know what I mean? But you down. We down. We might got businesses. We might do it all right.
It was wrong to their mama to say, don't let them know.
Right. But somewhere we don't have nobody to talk to. That was the key.
That's because you don't have nobody
to talk to.
It's okay to be in your emotions.
That's not going on.
It's okay.
Fight back and say, oh, well, you shouldn't do what you did. No, it's like, agree with me, dog. Like, this shit, this life is straight. We had to hustle. We had to do this stuff.
We had to not supposed to cry, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you held back your tears. If
know.
you hadn't been allowed to cry, you would have felt something.
Or express emotions. You know what I'm saying?
You want to know what I do? Now, every once in a blue, I have emotional breakdowns. I just had an emotional breakdown, what it was, like a month ago. And I was sitting in the damn chair, came home, and I ain't cried in so many years.
You do.
And that shit just was hitting me like overwhelming. I'm downstairs, like,
You
know what I'm saying? I'm really fucking pouring it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, like, I'm a thug. Like, the fuck is going on? I was boo-hooing to the point where I went upstairs, laid in the bed. Next to it, it was like the first time she was like ever like affectionate of what was going on.
I was like,
she felt
held me, all that shit. Like, damn, like, she's like, what's wrong? I'm just like, I'm depressed. I don't even know what the fuck is going on. I'm just depressed. You know what I'm saying? Ready to drive the truck on the jump, run through the gate. Just fall in the water. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Even though you might be good, you might got $30,000, $40,000 checks, and you know what I'm saying, cashing this, doing that, spending money, making money. When your kid don't sit up here and act like she don't love you, that shit hurts you. When people you know you love and you try to go for comfort and they look at you, they don't give a fuck. You feel what I'm saying? Or a person don't care how many families you're taking care of, what you're doing. They still want to be a nag. They still want to do this. You know what I'm saying? That's that. We walk away with a smile on our face, like, all right, yo. But for real, when they get in the car, we go to pull on, like, damn.
Exactly. That's when the tears.
Fuck, where my weed at? You know what I'm saying? You just roll out, you just like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And then you just like, damn, man, dude, you kick it, you like, you know, it's like, it's built for tough.
Ain't no feelings.
You feel what I'm saying?
And that's the whole thing. Like, yes, you can be built for tough, but make sure that when you get to that point, you are able to go see that person. And even if it's not a family member, a professional, that you can just go ahead and talk to.
Yeah, no, I'm built for tough, but I still gotta get a fucking tune up. I still need it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but listen, he gonna have the red button for you.
I need the rest. You need to cut me off. You feel what I'm saying? I need new tires. I need windows. You know what I'm saying? I need 10 on my windows. I don't need to see you. You don't need to see me. I need, you know what I'm saying? These heated seats. I want to feel comfortable.
The strongest person you might see might not, put it this way. Their body might be built by Fisher, but their mind might be built by Mattel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people be strong at times. Some people are not. They're not strong all the time. They got weaknesses, and you gotta expect it. You know, you gotta accept it, and you gotta be willing to be the person and say, "Well, I'll help you. I'll listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what that do.
Right.
Oh, maybe this can work. Well, maybe we should do this."
Like this whole setup.
You know what I mean?
Teamwork.
So, like, that's right. It's all about teamwork. And we don't have to be on the same team. We just feeling some of the same things.
Exactly.
Because we live in the same world.
Mm-hmm. Especially
You know,
in the same community.
That's right. And, you know, a lot of us do say, well, hey, I don't mess with them. I don't mess with them. But in some form or fashion, you got to deal with them.
You know what I'm saying?
Gave it up. She definitely gave it
Right.
up.
You do, and you know what? And people always say, "Oh, you know, like you do so much," and I'm like, you think like, "Oh, you're so strong." I'm like, wait, let's take that back. You know, like I ain't strong. I basically became mental healthy. I learned my triggers. I learned what takes me to that point where I'm about to be named. I learned how not to go that way. I learned how not to do this, and how I did that was basically doing what I'm now doing in seminars, just educating myself and learning about myself. And it was not easy. Y'all know I have said that before. That was like the craziest transition of my life, taking it head on. No medication. I just wanted to be able to process it.
Right.
The same way I processed the trauma, I wanted to process basically reforming myself. I wanted to take that all in and know that this is the emotion that I was supposed to have from the very beginning. And because me holding on strong stopped me from processing the emotions that later on could come out at the different time that you didn't even, like he didn't even know why he was crying, because he was holding on that on those emotions and was not mentally stable enough to take it and process it. That this is okay. This is what our bodies is designed to do. It's supposed to take out the waste. It's supposed to take out even that toxin that's in your mind. You know, that's why fitness is so great, because it's taking even the toxins out of your mind and making you mentally stable. Even if it's for that moment, but you releasing it.
Yeah, and that's deal important. With things as they come.
Right.
You know, it's less going back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you put it aside. I dealt with that. Okay. Boom. Next.
I'm so hard with life. You put on a good movie, I fucking crap.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's how it be.
Me
well,
too.
I don't even watch
I know
TV.
Acting.
You know, like I don't even watch
TV.
TV.
Why you want to do that?
I don't even watch TV. And then like people would tell me, like, I just give tips, like, listen, Monday is my mental health day. Like, I do things that I want to do on that day. I basically take my time out for myself, get myself together. If it's something that's coming up that may be an emergency, is this an emergency? Okay, this is an emergency. It's one of the youth. All right, I'll take it in. There's one emergency. That's it. I might allow myself one emergency. You know, I have 7 speaking engagements set up so far, but that's as far as I might go. I might take an emergency speaking engagement depending on what's the criteria, what is it for. If it is focused towards the youth, I'm definitely open to it. But my 7 speaking engagements is there. And because I also bring in a platform education on pool safety and awareness. So they're both mixed in there for 7. I give myself boundaries. Give yourself boundaries, because somebody else is not going to give you them boundaries. They're going to take whatever they can get from you. So you got to put a pause on it. You know, because then you're going to run yourself into the dirt. Like, and I say that even with my children. Hold on. You done gave me drama this week. Bro, you're done. Like today, my son, he turns 18 next week. I said to say I'm on vacation. Talk to me next week. I might be here, but I ain't here. I'm already on vacation move. You know, I leave to Texas tomorrow. I don't come back. I'm on vacation. Talk to me about this later on when I have to set up a boundary, because I have 6 children. Okay, and I had to do it prioritizing. Okay, what's your issue? Oh, that's not important right now. It is important to you. I understand that you melting, but right now, not right now. What's your okay? You important. Let me take you to the hospital. Let me take you to the doctor. Let me take you to school. Let me go see. like I had to do that because it was gonna take me under. But the same people that's taking me under, they not doing it on purpose. They need me. So I had to go and say, hey, I need y'all too. I need y'all to understand that I'm here and I'm present. I'm only one person.
One thing.
Like I'm here.
You hit that right.
Like, so I said, like people want to know. These is my secret. This is how I do it because if not, you're gonna go ahead and be looking over me in my casket, figuring out what happened. And what happened is I let you run me in here.
Yeah.
You know, like you ran me in here, and I'm not gonna let you run me in here because you the one that basically is still healthy. I done basically build you up, and you turn me down. I'm gonna build you, and you're gonna build me, and we're gonna keep on building. But if I see you bringing me down, then I gotta step back because now I gotta make sure that I'm keeping myself together.
These discussions be powerful.
You know, like just staying together. Yeah, like set boundaries for yourself, even with your wife, even with your husband. Listen, is it an emergency? Oh, okay. You need to talk about something that's going on heavy in your heart, and that's emergency to me. But if it is because you didn't get your underwear that you want to wear today ain't clean, then guess what? You're gonna have to go ahead and wear this other pair. You still look good enough. You know, I've been through all of that. Like my ex-husband, he was a producer. He had stages, and you know, and he just loved stuff a certain way. Like, listen, I forgot. You gonna be all right. They ain't gonna see him. You gonna wear these tonight. I did iron the jeans. You happy about that? Okay. Keep it moving because now I gotta make dinner. Have a nice show. I'll be seeing you on the TV. I gotta take care of these kids. You understand what I'm saying? But I learned that early. So even when I came into my own crisis situations with my daughter basically having her near drowning and my mother passing away, I was able to take that head on because I feel like I was mentally prepared for it because I had those boundaries. So even when my mom passed away, I set the boundary like, nope, block. Give me my space. I ran off. I got hotel rooms. I sit in a hotel room. Me and my children. Those are the children I gotta always take care of. Then those are the children that come with me. If you coming over here to basically talk about, a situation I don't want to talk about, then okay. But if you gonna come and comfort me in this time, I was letting them know what hotel room I was at. That was it. I was doing what I had to do to keep myself together. Because it's still people that needed me. And you already know that 2 times people almost took me out, almost committed suicide twice over other people. So I had to basically set these boundaries straight. And I love the way we move forward. And even though he isn't on camera, that's one of my close friends, Royal Money. We talk about things all the time about setting boundaries, what he does in his industry because he's a wrestler. So even setting his boundaries up and what he brings, and he's so gifted that he has things that he even showed me how to set boundaries because he's on a different level in the industry. He's like, no, you got to step back some, and it's building me up. So like, if we all teach each other how to do these things, then we can move forward and say, hey, now I have time to just reflect on me because ultimately you got to remember you.
These the type of discussions you hate leaving.
Yeah.
I swear, man. I want to,
But we glad you came.
Yes.
Anthony,
Thank you so much.
I learned a lot from
y'all. Make sure y'all check them out at Versatile.
Yes, 1200 Delphia Drive.
Definitely. Oh, we gonna stay connected. You already know.
We gonna stay connected.
And if anything, we'll see you on May 14th
Here's my
at the expo. Yes, thank you for coming.
Here's my personal phone number.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, y'all.
We're gonna give y'all a track.
Yes.
As Anthony did.
You got slamming, Ant.
Somebody help him.
Hello, beautiful.
It's the global. I am Elite the Beast. And that is, hold up, where you at? There he is. Southern Shot. And we are the global. Loyalty and the legacy. You know what it is, the beast like that. I can't get ahead of me. But the killer was close, but my nigga was close. Bro, try to reach for one time. Next time they gon' know it's our time now. One time for the one time. Day two, it's really our time now. One time for the one time. Next time they gon' know it's our time now. One time for the one time. Day two, it's really our time. Next time I take 20 later down. Go to the game, my name got me the next round. Hard work always spoke for me, no cosign. Here with the showtime. Brief in the league, they can say once came up. Go back straight about the fights in the sandbox. Help me find water in the damn drop. And wise men thinking better than they planned out. Give a nigga hand up, never do just a hand out. So I told the gas drop, turn down the big, not to kill a foul loud. Overstand me, earn the big me. 7 shots right now, I want what's over with me. The killer was close, but my nigga was closer. Girl trying to reach me, feel his hand on his shoulder. Under pressure, feeling crazy when the show ain't over. Couple niggas said the show ain't over now. One time for the one time. Next time they gon' know it's our time now. One time for the one time. Take two, it's really our time. Hard-headed nigga, you can't tell me shit. Hide in the eagle, I be shitting on you pelicans. If I lift the trumpet, they blow like an elephant. Product of the process, we are nothing in common. Pressure me, you better just glowing out like a diamond. Looking for a flow like this, you can't find it. Jump to the head of the pack, was good now. F's in the air if you knew it was good now. You niggas who left you to stay down. The beats back, now their name change down. FG, we close, the breakers close. See me see success if you get close, you smell it when the wrong and tell them, then the cat and leave you. Thank niggas, then the coast. On the road to riches, we ain't going over, bro. Don't need to get it, no nothing. That's the way it is over. Faction in the gang, and now we go. Faction in the gang, and now my niggas glow. You was close, but my nigga was close. Bro, trying to reach me, feel his hand on my shoulder. The pressure for my break, yeah, the show ain't over. My bad. The local niggas said the show ain't over. One time. Next time they gon' know it's our time now. One time for the one time. Day two, it's really our time now. One time for the one time. Yes. Next time they gon' know it's our time now. One time for the one time. Day two, it's really our time.
Guys. Shout out to the music from 7 Shots.
Yeah.
FT Leak. Our guest submissions today. Shout out to those boys from Fashion Global. We back. We in the building with the Mogul Queen herself, Tanika Quinones.
You already know.
We got Bar 10 in the building.
Yes.
And Paper Bands is here. And we also got our studio audience over here.
Yes, the wrestler. The wrestler, Royal Money.
Royal Money.
Come on, they just came in from Atlanta. He just had a fight. He just don't want to come over here, but I'm going to still put him on the spot.
Come
Come on over, Money. Come on. Tell us. There's not too many people that make it out of the city and got a story to tell of what happened out there when you was in the ring. You said you fight anybody. Let them know that you'll fight anybody. Tell us something about you. Because you made for that. You just spotlight. That's why your head is shiny. You chilling. It's the Comfort Level Podcast. You can't chill no harder than this right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? The Comfort Level Podcast. We got the wrestler that'll fight anybody. Sylvia said that he'll fight anybody.
He'll fight anybody.
Wait, and he more iconic than Jesus, y'all.
And he'll slap Will Smith.
That is true. I'm not a fan of Will Smith no more after that. Like, really not.
What do you think about
That gay ass
I
slap.
feel like what Will Smith did was equivalent to somebody pulling out a gun and not shooting the person.
Right.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
if I'm gonna get up to smack somebody and I feel disrespected about something,
I'm gonna lean in.
I gotta make the smack count.
I'm gonna lean in.
I feel like, you know what I mean? I'm going to twist it. It's like I'm mixed. I got mixed emotions. Like, yeah, Chris Rock had every power to be like, nah, I don't want to tell that joke. You know what I mean? But he still did it, which is funny. I think the joke, because she got alopecia, is actually funny. You know what I mean? And Will Smith laughed at it. But if he did feel like his wife was disrespected, and he felt like you should smack him. Come on, it's like we was just complaining that the Oscars wasn't black enough. And now it's super black. You got Denzel producing it. Right, you got Denzel producing, you got Tyler Perry producing. It's like, come on, like I wouldn't have did that joint on the strength of Denzel. Right. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this Denzel producer, I want to smack him, but I'm not gonna do it. But it's like if he did, Chris Rock should have been getting up off the floor, because now I felt like the smack was cool. The smack really wasn't that bad. I felt like what was more distasteful was the yelling from the seat. Yeah. That was more distasteful, because it's like, if I smacked him, right. He know why he got smacked. He should, but it's like he made a joke right after the smack. So it's like,
like, come on, you got mental health problems.
First of all,
and then was partying. He went through so many emotions that day.
First of all, you sitting there in the chair selling wolf tickets. You went up there and you bitch slapped somebody that didn't even really have that much force on it. So it's not nothing. But I'm gonna tell you what, y'all gotta hear me out on this one. Y'all gotta hear me out this one. Because you gotta stop talking. Thank you. Because I didn't say it before, and I want people to hear me. The feelings is still moving. Okay. The fact that Will Smith sat there and he laughed at the joke after he seen Jada roll her eyes, that is the reason why he got up. He had to show his manhood to her. After she rolled her eyes, she was mad because he laughed at the joke. No other reason did he get up and slap Chris Rock. He did not want Jada to be mad at him because he laughed at her too.
Well, in a defense, you know what I mean, since we're talking about mental health, what he said was, when he laughed at the joke, it's really a defense mechanism. Like, the joke could have not been funny to him. It's just the fact that, like, I've been at these awards so many times that it's just like, I know I'm in front of the camera, so it's like, I got to. But I'm just saying it, so now you're saying mental health is full of shit.
No, I'm not saying mental health is full of shit. Like, I'm saying Will Smith is a liar if he said that.
I mean, but how can we say? How can we say if it's a lie? Because when we talk about mental health, if it's in that person's mind, then it's real.
You know why?
Like, you know why? It's real.
You know why? Because I ran through a few men and I know how they do. Just like you see. But I know.
See, but your thesis off the few men that you dealt with, and not other men. You get what I'm saying? So it's a biased thesis.
I'm biased.
It's only a few men that did you wrong, and it's like, nah, all these niggas like, nah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to cheat. Right, but look, right, but it's just like, I get that, but I had some shitty girlfriends, right? I had some shitty girlfriends, but now it's just like, yo, I go to this next girl and it's like, yo, I'm gonna abuse her for what this last girl did. No, so no. You said I said Will Smith.
I had a few men. I didn't say anything good, bad, or I did not define them at all.
But in the context of Will Smith saying that it was a defense mechanism to laugh, and then you said it was because of the men, because it was bullshit. So you saying those few men was bullshit in the context of what Will Smith did, right? Am I
right? Wait. I'm saying, excuse me. No, this is mine. It's not talking to me. Let me answer. Okay, I'm saying it because of how Will reacted to his wife. That's what I'm saying.
Which was in a negative way, right?
No.
Well, he reacted negative, right?
Yeah, it was negative.
Okay.
He reacted, but he didn't react until she reacted.
Right.
His reaction to keep Chris Rock was to laugh. His reaction to Jada was to get up and kick ass.
What Will Smith did was I rebuttal, right? So what Will Smith did was negative, right? We all agree on it. What Will Smith did was negative, right? Yeah. So now that Will Smith
live on the podcast, Comfortable Podcast. We're live on the podcast. You got something to say? All right, bye.
And so we said Will Smith is negative, right?
Ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
Okay.
That was a negative, right? So we all agree that what Will Smith did was negative, right? We
No,
all
it's not negative.
no, what Will Smith smacking the dude? Will Smith smacking was negative, right? So he laughed, and then I said that Will Smith said in his defense that it was a defense mechanism. You know what I mean? We talk about mental health, and then you said the few men. So we're talking about Will Smith in a negative light.
No, I didn't say a few men. I said I've been with a few men.
Right, because you said BS. Right, what Will Smith said was BS. Right. Yes. So in your context, your backing was the few men, and it's bullshit. So we're talking about.
No, I've been through a lot of honest men.
Now we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We know the details of the men.
Stereotyping the type of man.
Because we're talking about Will Smith in a negative light.
Put it this way: I'm 62 years old, and I probably had a boyfriend of every kind that you're talking about. Okay. We'll leave it like that.
Well, in my defense, I want to say about Will Smith saying that is that I think that it could be true.
All female. So we know.
Okay. There's a lot of things out here.
I feel like it could be true though, because like when I go to like public engagements and stuff like that, I feel like okay, the cameras is rolling at all time. Like the cameras even rolling here, but we had to come to the podcast. But I'm just saying, like, not really laughing.
We've never been to the Oscars. But we've never. Everybody right here has never been to anywhere at that level. To where it's just like, man, I don't know what to do. I've been at a lot of wrestling events where it's just like when I go to AEW, like so I go to AEW and wrestle for AEW, and like I didn't take no jacket because it's like, oh, it's Florida. When I got there, it was tsunami rain, and I came there dressed up. It was raining so bad that like I got wet all the way down to my drawers. The most embarrassing thing was like, I can't stand here and change my clothes because I only brought one pair of suit clothes. So I got to stay here. I literally was there shaking everybody's hand until I dried. It was the most embarrassing thing ever. But it was like, that's something I had to do. And I never was, this first time in that situation, but it's like, bring a second pair of dress clothes, you know what I mean? But it's like, we've never been in that type of situation to where like people are always clowning you, coming at you just by millions, where it's just like, I believe that it could have been like the defense that he did laugh, and then it was like, oh, I looked at my girl, it's like, right, but it's just like the fact that like,
what you going to
she
do?
got that type of power.
Say we out, you out with your chick, she like that, and dudes say, yo, man, your chick good, man, or crack on that side, and then she turn around and look at you like, oh, for real, that's how you gonna let this.
See, I'm a laugh, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's funny, like if the joke funny, yeah, I'm a laugh. I think it's funny. Like, bro, that was a good one.
Your girl look like the next G.
But also, I'm gonna have a rebuttal back where it's like I'm gonna say something even funnier than what he said. The different girl, you know what I mean? And I felt like Will Smith could have still went up there and whispered something in his ear. I feel like that could have been a G mover. Like, what do you do? And then talk to him in the back. He could have did that, right? He could have walked back in like that, and then walked back to an ear and was like that, and then just walked off.
No. He was out of turn.
No,
I shouldn't have never talked about
what I'm saying is, I'm just saying.
So they called him for his award, and then he could have addressed it.
That is true. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been talked about. He could have smacked him in the back. And like off camera, like, yo, I need to holler at you. And then he could have smacked him and been justified. But
when you
it was too black.
When you wrestling, and the bull's wife that you wrestling.
See, you can't ask me that question.
No, please don't ask me.
See, me like
what you gonna do is he coming in the ring.
Me like that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the smack was right or wrong. In the situation, like, so I feel like everything is justified to me, right? Everything that happened is justified. Right. The smack, Chris Rock should have got smacked if he felt like, you know what I mean? Yeah, but it's just like not there, not on stage, not in front of the camera, not in the, you know what I mean? Not in front of this big blackest Oscar ever.
When is the perfect time for him to have said something?
In the back, like, yo. But I'm saying he could have still walked up there and whispered something in his ear. Like,
I don't think he should have walked up there at all.
But if he had walked up there and whispered something to him and walked back, we would have just all watched it like, yo, what just happened? And confused, like, listen, I'm quiet. And then it would have been like, oh, he said something to me.
Bro, all he had to do was come up and said this and whisper this.
He shouldn't have came up at all.
He annoyed.
Boom, and then stepped off. Yeah. And then as soon as he stepped off and went like this and went all like this, that's when Chris Rock would have been like, hey, listen, I just want to apologize. Then everybody like, well, damn, well, what the fuck happened? What the fuck Will say?
Right.
Then they'd have thought
Right.
he was, you know what I'm saying? Will would have got Oscars.
Man,
He'd have got mad props because they wanted to know what he said.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To make Chris Rock,
Yeah.
the ultimate Chris Rock, turn around and say, yo, my bad. Listen, I want to apologize. Well, you could have kept it.
Yeah,
That's all you had to do with
down,
the best
down.
G shit you could have did in your life.
I seen a lot of
You know what I'm
disrespectful
saying?
stuff
And
where
that's what I'm
somebody grab people and laugh. Like, where they talking under their breath saying some slick shit. It's like,
right.
oh, this nigga about to kill me. Like, and they don't even know it. How is this Judah ventriloquist where he's laughing? But he, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Look, Chris knew that he wasn't on the card to come walking up there. So when he came up walking, what did you think Chris Rock was taking?
well, I think we got to take it all the way back to Will Smith and Jada saying all that stuff they said about him when they were saying like, oh, wasn't no black people on the Oscars, and they reached out to Chris Rock to like, yo, you hosting it, boycott it. He was like, no, I'm not boycotting it. Like, and it's just like most of his fans is white. Like, if you think about Chris Rock, I think Chris Rock
They wanted him to boycott. That's probably why
a
he
couple of
came out
years
with
ago,
the
not this year, a couple of years ago.
That's probably why he came out with
So
the joke.
they already been at odds because it was like now that he didn't want to walk away from the Oscars, now y'all hating because it's like, oh, well, we don't like y'all black people. We like this black guy. And it's like, that's kind of how they felt. But it's just like, if he still wanted to do it, that's his brand. That's his business. He could do whatever he wants.
And
But
you
it's
want
like,
to know who has the mental health out of everybody?
the worst mental health word.
Yeah. Chris
Will
Rock.
Smith.
No.
Man,
Chris
Will
Rock.
Man, I'm sorry. I think
Chris
Will Smith
Rock.
win
They
that
did
one.
it. They did it. What's the name?
I get what you're saying.
he
But
has
when
a-
you see Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, then you see those weird-ass kids,
Uh-huh.
that nigga won the fucking prize, nigga.
Yeah, they all look like they all
When
look
you
man.
bring it, when
That's my man, Watson
you bring
Band.
it birthday weirdos,
Watson Band.
Yo, who do they look like? I just said it the other
both
day.
of
I
them
said
look like
that.
both of them.
I said that. You got to get there on an apartment at 15 years old to sit and do.
Yeah, they look like they all look like the little thing off the
Aliens.
ring and shit. Yeah,
They look like aliens.
Especially
Will got an ugly ass.
They'll level in there already, bro.
I'm not agreeing with that.
If they don't give
That's
him
Will
his
Smith kid.
people would just give him the Oscar.
They just run around.
A Grammy, so look
No,
at the
them
Grammy.
kids
It's
are
like,
great.
what the fuck is
They're
wrong with y'all?
beautiful.
You know, they hit.
They're
I am an icon legend.
What?
I am an icon legend.
What the hell? Like, you was bumping the fuck out when it was the dopest song ever. It was just like, why would you the person? Listen, now I feel how that girl felt when she said, Papers, how you come up with the song Green Giant? You all little. Like, you shouldn't have never came up with that song. She was hating. So I felt like that when I heard Will Smith was his son when he came out with the Icon Legend drum. I was like, this weirdo ass nigga just came out with the I am. You know that I am an icon. That was like, it was the hottest thing ever. It was hot. I praise him for it. But you're fucking weird, man.
Yeah, all of them. That's what I'm saying, Mr. Rock. I think I'm quite sure Mr. Chris Rock
They
got
walking
some of those.
billboards. They
Them
walking
niggas-
right there.
I mean, I would be weird
They
too.
don't do.
I would be weird too if I found out my dad was flying. Him and Dwayne Martin was flying V2K out to a mansion and hitting them all. I would be weird. I would think that was weird time. My life would have been a little crooked and crooked up too. But I don't know.
I feel like a lot of this stuff happened because of who their parents is. You think
I
like,
don't know. Well, I mean, don't
I
get
don't
mad
know.
at me for what you decided to do with your life. That's your life solely. I really don't give a crap. But just don't let it get out. Like
Right.
Don't let it get out.
Don't let it get out. That was your one mistake, man. You run around with
And
Dwayne
it was
Martin.
like Will Smith caused a lot of this stuff on his own. Like we didn't need to hear that red table with all this.
He called
We
it
didn't
right.
need that. Like y'all did that. Y'all did that. Like thank you. It was good TV.
Come on,
but we
man.
didn't
Your
need to-
your wife hit August Alsina. I'd have went and hit everybody in the industry. I'm fucking everybody. I don't care. I'm sticking my dick in every chick. So when you go out with Jada, you gonna be mad at me. You gonna be like, damn. Papers, why you
Ladies and
Why you had to
gentlemen,
fuck all the crazy things? Cause I just did. Cause you
The
fucking
chick
August
played-
Alsina.
The
well, I
chick
mean,
played it
somebody
too.
gotta really
You're not
love
gonna make
somebody,
me
bro.
look
In
bad.
a marriage, somebody really had to love
I don't
somebody.
care how much I love you. I'm
And I
still gonna
understand
fuck
that, but why
someone
you
else.
just can't
I just
walk
don't
away?
care. I don't care. You fuck on me. I don't care how much I love you. I'm gonna go fuck somebody else.
They got that agreement though.
Just as simple as that. I'm
They
gonna
do,
come back to
because
you.
he's an actor.
And I'm gonna fuck on you.
Oh, he's coming
No,
back.
I don't really think that's the real reason they got that agreement.
And I'm fucking all your girlfriends.
I think that agreement is
I might fuck your mom.
What is the agreement?
They got open relationship.
Yeah, they got an open
He
relationship.
said
I
that
think
he
it's
believed
because
in what?
I think they got an open relationship because Will Smith never be Tupac.
Yup.
You gotta think though, like
You ever felt the first passion of a thug, nigga?
Jada and Tupac was together and they never had a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
So like the fact that Tupac left that lasting impression on her
Right.
without
Is that good,
having
y'all?
sex
I
with
never
her,
seen that.
and Will get to hit him and all that, and it's just like
If
so.
if it's that good, I'm gonna need a
The time they
cigarette.
was like the time Tupac and Jada was supposed to have sex, and they was old enough, like Will was already with her.
Yeah.
And then he died.
And then he died. Yeah.
So it's just like
didn't
she
even
never
get
got
to
a chance to experience
Right.
Tupac.
She ain't never
But
get
it's
to throw
just
that
like-
leg up for that real nigga.
Right. But it was just like in her
She threw
image,
that other leg up for that fake nigga. I mean, no,
but in her eyes, that was the perfect
Yes,
dude.
No, that what is Will considered like the uppity? What is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh.
She married that bougie, put the leg up that bougie nigga. Instead of that thug nigga, you know.
Well, listen, Jada is my pageant sister, and I will say it's like kind of like if you want to know, like I don't know, and she just always been weird, like because of the simple fact of being that
But it's just the fact
No.
that like
the criteria.
I believe she was weird, but it's like when you think about it, like she ain't
was
like
not weird
Tupac
back
was
then.
probably the only dude that like she
She's
probably
my pageant
She
sister.
was not weird back then.
Listen,
well, we don't know. You know what I mean? We only always
So
see
me
her on
and her
TV.
both
She
been
could've
under the
going
same
on.
pageantry, like how Jackson Talented
I
T.
know, but Pop was that dude
She
that
was
able to.
a pageant. She was in the pageant before me.
Sometimes
So
when I
because
say,
we
like,
all
it's
under
weird,
the same
like, her
pageant
mind
line,
is created.
she's
So
my
it's just like
pageant
she
sister.
come up with
So, like,
understand. Right.
The criteria just don't match up to who she is, like who she always
Able
was
to feel everything
in the
she wanted.
pageantry.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's passion. You ever felt a real thug passion
Right.
of a thug?
And that's actually like how you really like supposed to love a woman, where you like can able like, you know what I mean, to tear the walls down in her mind. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Open her up.
yeah,
And make her feel like she's having sex.
right. Without even, you know what I mean?
She probably thought about it. Like, I got her panties wet. Like, it was
They fantasize, you know what I mean? Like that's in their mind. They fantasize. So it's just like,
yeah, because
she
they
probably
definitely was
fantasized.
on
She
another
probably just,
level.
yeah.
She probably was on another
All
level.
she could do is fantasize. But it could have been like,
Poems and shit he used to write. And
right.
it's a book out there. I swear to God, I don't know where it's at, but it's a book out there. I got a book of poems. I used to write this girl when I was at Slayton Farms. I used to write her poems every day. Every day I had a poem for. I put it inside the book.
If you out there and you got that poem book and you release it,
So like I used to write, like I was always like just a little imaginative kid, so I always, you know, the bottle would drift up off the ocean with the letter in it.
Yeah.
So when Pathmark was on Mount Ephraim, I'm going way back to Pathmark, when they used to always have paper bags, right? No logos on them. You know, back in the day we would take them and put them over our book. And
Right.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? But it's like I would always get them, and I would take the seal out the bottom, and I would take the incense and light it, and I would like burn the edges to make it look like that note inside the bottom.
scroll.
And I learned how to do calligraphy, and I would write her notes all the time. And then like at one time I put it in the bottom.
Oh, okay.
But like she like actually kept this book with like all this like tickets. We went stuff. We kept the drawings. When she showed it to my daughter, which I thought was kind of weird, but it was like, you know what I mean. It's like, you got a whole dude there, he should show that, you know what I mean, he loved your mom. But she was trying to show my daughter that, like, yo, like, your dad loved your mom. And, like, she kept it, which was, like, actually wild to see. You know what I mean? Like, I was a cornball.
He was showing his heart.
Women want to be wooed.
Yeah, right.
So,
And that's
No, they don't. No, they don't. Nowadays,
Start.
I'm like, hey, baby girl, you look good and stylish and all that. What you mean? I told this one girl on Instagram, I said, "Yo, girl," I said, "Damn, girl, you got one of the most coke bottomless lips I ever seen in my life." She said, said, "Oh, that's just gonna make me block you." I said, "Well,
See,
go
because-
ahead, block me."
because
But
they
I'm
view
just like,
they view it as
I
sexist.
just complimented.
Because it comes off as like kind of sexist.
That's crazy. That's
Right.
that's baby making love back in the day. That's how your pop rolled around. You baby, come here, let me
It ain't the
talk
same
to
now,
girl,
though.
Girl, come on over here to big old daddy. Make sure you don't wash up too. Don't take the scent away. You know, go ahead.
All right, look, right? So
Make sure
I was,
you sweat.
so
You know what I'm saying?
in Georgia, right? It's open carry.
I'm
Right?
gonna play this song because he getting on my nerves.
We have it.
In Georgia, it's open carry, right? Like you can just carry the joint, right? So
Right.
it was this girl, nice, beautiful, right? And I was like, man, she got a whole blicky in her pocket, right? And all these dudes didn't see it, but they was coming and trying to holler. And she was like, real mean, like, yo, get out my face. I'm like, damn, like, she mean, right? But I'm like, I can see why she'd be mean. She got burned, like, she'll shoot somebody, whatever. So I just started messing with her. I'm like, oh my God, I feel so safe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it made her laugh. You get what I'm saying? Like, it made her laugh.
Please don't.
But it was just the fact that, like, it was a different approach. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to think, like, how many, if that girl did have nice lips, how many dudes said that she had nice lips?
Right.
So it's like, when you say it, it's like, bro, that's not even clever because I heard that before.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you just kind of got to be, it's always you got to be 10 steps ahead. So it's just like, yo, everybody coming at her because she you didn't even see the gun. You seen her ass. Yeah. The gun was big, but it wasn't big as her butt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, you know what I mean? I feel so safe. You know what I mean? She started laughing. And it was like, yo, at first she was like, yo, leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's like, nah, I feel so safe. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's like, that was the icebreaker instead of being like, oh my God, yo, you got nice body.
All right. So one time I cracked on this girl and I said, yo, shorty, bow. I said, you looking good, baby. I said, come here, let me holler at you. Let me get that number. She said, no, I like to be single. I said, all right, well, you can stay single with me. She said, for real? She gave it, I was like, all right, let me get that number. Boom, she gave me a number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was, like you said,
we don't realize, like, energy is important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, me just already, because we fantasize as men, too. So me describing her lips, I'm already fantasizing, like, why I think her lips is cute.
Right.
And she feel that energy.
Right.
Like you could always, like, you ever, like, said something where, like, you said something different, but the energy was like, yo, fuck you, but the person felt that fuck you.
Right.
But you didn't say that.
But you didn't say it,
Because
right.
the energy. So it's just like, I could say, yeah, if I'm saying her lips is nice, I've already, as dudes, I've already imagined.
So why she ain't picked up that I wanted to pay for that pussy? I mean, time, like, that's what she could have.
Right, because the energy made her feel. The energy made her feel. You know what I'm saying? The energy made her feel wrong. But it's like, damn, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
You could have got her better, like, yo, you lips ugly as hell.
Right. Yeah.
Like, boy, stop. Like, you know what I mean? Boy, stop. They like, where's oyster right? Like,
All right, because we gotta go pretty soon. So, Money, can you please tell us a quick synapse of something like where you just came from? You just had a major fight, like.
Oh, well, I went to Atlanta for professional wrestling. I went there for professional wrestling, but like I got there August 26th, and then 27th, we went to the gym and I seen the basketball court. And I'm like, oh man, I worked out. I'm gonna go ahead and get some cardio. And I went in there and I hurt my ankle. It was the worst ankle injury I ever got.
Wow.
And everybody said it was my Georgia welcome. And it was like, the first thing I was like, man, like, you know, you Google stuff. Like, I beat cancer like 6 times, Googling stuff and all this stuff. But it was like, I really went there. Like, I've been wrestling for like, huh?
For real?
Yeah, no, seriously, I hurt my ankle for real.
No,
With Google, he
No, you know,
Google.
Google's like, I'm researching my ankle. It's like, yo, they talking about cancer and other stuff. Right. I'm like, dang, I beat cancer. So, but like for me, it was like one of the biggest blessings I never asked for because like that was my first time ever leaving the city of Camden. Like, you know what I mean? You leave, you go other places and stuff, and you always come back. So it was my first time to ever leave the city. So I believe in God. You know what I mean? Like I don't read the Bible or whatever, but I do believe in the higher power. Right. So when I hurt my ankle, I just prayed to God and was like, yo, please, like, what lesson am I supposed to learn? Because as quick as I learn this lesson, I'll be able to get my healing. You know what I mean? And took 7 months or whatever. It was probably shorter than that because you always tell me, like, you're fine. And my ex was like, you're an athlete. But it's like, I never had an injury like this. Like, it was all the way up to my calf. Like,
wow.
I couldn't flex my ankle. I couldn't push off my toe. I couldn't do nothing. I was at the strip club that same night. I hurt my ankle. After beating cancer, I still went to the strip club. But, like, because I needed to just do something. Like, I even went to the hospital, got my leg checked. the doctor did say my Achilles was still intact, but I didn't even hear it. Like, it was bad. So, but it was the first time, like, you know what I mean? And I'll be turning 37 in May. And first time I felt like God sat me down. It was like, no, bro, like, you gotta learn something. And it was like, it was really, I went out there for wrestling, but it's really personal growth. And the stuff that I was running from in wrestling here, that I was like, those hold me back, I ran right to it in Atlanta. I was like, man, it's the same shit here with the wrestling. So, but when me going there, right, it was different. Like, these people ain't hating here. You know what I mean?
Like, all right, same shit might be going on. It's a little bit more.
These niggas is trash here, and they hate me.
Yeah, and
these niggas is trash, and they don't hate me.
But it's obviously
yeah. So, but for me, it was like I started seeing all these legends that I watched on TV or whatever. And I'm like, yo. So now, me not being able to wrestle, I'm only able to talk to them. So me talking, I knew mentally that where I'm at in wrestling is in the right spot, because these motherfuckers made millions of dollars. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, I'm in the right spot just because I'm able to just converse with them and they agreeing with everything that I'm saying. So I'm like, all right, I wasn't trained badly. You know what I mean? So the whole time I was there, I was just working out and just, you know what I mean, talking to them over every day. She get on my nerves. You know? But I was just able to just work on me, and it was personal growth. You know what I mean? And then I had to come back. I flew back here a couple times, and I came back because I got a 16-year-old daughter who thinks she's grown or whatever. So I had to come back here and be a father. And then it was like, that was the decision I made to come back home. So it was like, I didn't wrestle the whole time, but before I came home, I actually was, my friend was like, I'm wrestling here, and I'm like, bro, you owe me a match. And then he was like, yo, you gonna be in Tennessee? Can you make it to Tennessee? And I'm like, yeah. So I wrestled in Tennessee, my first match after 7 months, and then I came back home. So it's just like, now I'm just here to like, sometimes you gotta come back to the craft. You know what I mean? And just realize, you know what I mean? Because now my perspective is different, being in Atlanta for 7 months and just like having a hurt ankle, just moving the way I was moving. So now I'm here, it's like I don't move the same. You know what I mean? I'm not connected with the same people. I don't reach out to those people because like it's kind of like having a car. When you first get a car and you're young, all your friends like, yo bro, and then your car break down, you don't hear you just hear crickets. It's like when I hurt my ankle, it's because like my car broke down. It's like nobody can reach out to me. So I'm like, these not the real ones that was my homies anyway. So it's like I don't ever need to converse with them ever again. And then now I'm back here and it's just like it's just a new resurgence. I just feel like it's different being in the city now. But
you are taking bookings.
Yeah, I'm taking bookings, but any kid that's watching this or whatever, and you live in this city, and sometimes you just feel like you're in the box, you feel like you need to get out. Sometimes you do, and like you could be the crab that's actually climbing out the barrel, but also holding yourself in. So if you feel like that, it's because you're that crab that's climbing out, but you're also holding inside the barrel. You know what I mean? So if you feel like you need to get out, sometimes you do to just change perspective. You know what I mean? Like we all eat chicken with butter, salt, pepper. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might want to put cayenne pepper on it. It's like, oh man, that chicken actually tastes different. And that's just simple, like how life is. It's like sometimes you just gotta switch it up, and it's just a little switch. And that was just like what I needed. Like, my mind was like, yo, nah, I'm going out here for this wrestling contract. But God was like, nah, this is personal.
We're gonna show you.
You still gonna get the contract, but not right now.
he showed you knowledge before speech and action.
Yeah. And like y'all was talking about being locked up, it's kind of like, even though I was in Atlanta, I could go wherever I want. Kind of felt like I was locked up. You know what I mean? There, it was like I can't run. So it was like, you know what I mean? Stuff that I would have probably did, like probably got in a fight with somebody or whatever the case may be. I couldn't do because I had a bad will.
You learned more though, and you learned like the ins and outs. You was able to study.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So once you gain that knowledge, now you was able to speak about it.
Right.
And then once you was able to speak about it, now you were able to apply it to yourself and your own self-gain. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, understanding, knowledge, wisdom.
Right. Yeah. So then you took it to that next level. And then once you know, now you can't go back to doing the same things because you already know now.
Right.
Once you taught yourself.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It can't be a mistake if you keep doing it, right?
Right.
So that's dope.
Yeah, and it was like, for me, it was kind of like being in Atlanta. It was like, dang, like I'm actually thankful for growing up in this city because it was like, if I grew up anywhere else, like I always think about, in the White Towns, no knock on it, but it's like y'all corny. Y'all got crossing guards. Your grass is always green. It's like it's nothing
Did you
there.
have both your parents?
No, I had my mom. My dad was always getting locked up. I had my grandparents.
Oh, you actually knew who your dad was.
Yeah. I had my grandparents, and it's kind of like, it's weird because it's like I was just talking to them about this the other day. It was like I had my grandparents, so it was like I was a spoiled kid, and it's like I had so much love, but it was like I still had that hurt from, you know what I mean? I needed that love from my mom, or I needed that love from my dad. So I still had this hurt, that I never dealt with because my grandfather did their job. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like
Still got a minute.
all them teaching me the stuff that they teach me when they passed and we doing out there was like, I really need to use these tools now. So like, you have these tools, but you just never use them.
That's crazy because you look. Hey, what's up, Jude? You look like my little cousin. That's what I'm saying. If you didn't know,
I got a lot of.
I was gonna say, if you didn't know who your dad was, I know who your dad is. I'm like, yo, I used to take care of my little cousin. Y'all look
Say if
just
you didn't know his
this
dad
whole-
was.
No,
I got
you
like,
talking about,
you know what I'm saying?
his dad, and then people would say that he was asking him.
Like, no, even when he was there, like, you sitting there, I was looking, I'm like, damn, he look like Bubba. He looks like Bubba. Just dead ass, he looks like Bubba. I'm like, wow, it's like a grown version of Bubba. Now, Bubba, he's a little kid, a little bit autistic. It's my old cousin, but I always took him to school, did everything for him. He's a good guy, man. Good guy. Never did nothing wrong so much. But now seeing Bubba older, he works for a school bus and stuff like that. Now, I really didn't really get to see Bubba now really too much because, you know, I now that I've been home, I've just been out floating, really, not really interacting with my family. Anybody that wasn't there for me,
right, it's
just me.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
All right, so we're gonna let you let the people know where they can contact you so you get booked for some wrestling
so
gigs and stuff.
every you can check me on moreiconicthanjesus.com and everything on like all my social media is Camden Royalty. So everything, Twitter, Instagram.
Camden Royalty.
Camden Royalty.
Oh, right. Camden Royalty in the building. Y'all make sure, you know, we got to be getting ready to get out of here. We're going to leave y'all with a nice trip. Make sure you catch us, though. We got April is full. Okay? If you want to get an interview, you got to catch us sometime in May.
Yes.
Down in May. Yeah. Thursday, we got Rusty McDonald, the life coach, coming. Tuesday, we got co-hosting Meek 46th Street, and we're gonna have El Guapo, who's a music artist. We got Chidi, Chidi speaks, he's a motivational speaker. I can't even pronounce his last name. He's coming in Thursday of the 14th. The following Tuesday, we got Vera G. Thursday, make sure that you check us out here. We pulling it in. We having a seminar right here, hosted by the Mogul Queen. Thursday,
The
21st of April.
Yes, sir.
So everybody's welcome to come in. We're gonna have a little big seminar right here in this room.
Yes.
We're gonna do it right here in this room.
Right here.
So we're gonna set it up. We're gonna do it right here in this room, and we're gonna tell them what we're doing.
We're going to have a seminar targeting traumatic brain injury versus trauma care, mental impairment versus abnormal use. And we are going to inform our people so we can reform our people here in the city of Camden and surrounding neighborhoods, and more importantly, people of color that are misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed with mental impairment states of mind. And we're going to all end up becoming mentally stable by this information, or more so get on target to get trauma-based use or trauma-based services or trauma therapy, anything that can basically start to bring you into that healthy mindset. We're going to start targeting more.
And we're going to find out why our men of color go undiagnosed. And some of them out here are diagnosed, but why they aren't getting help?
They don't care about us.
No, we care about them. That's why we
You don't care
Anthony McFadden in here. That's going to start that.
Shout out to Anthony McFadden at 1200 Delcia Drive. You already know he has the Versatile Fitness. He has that big expo coming up, which is Business Clashing with Mental Health.
May 16th.
Was it May 16th or May 14th?
May 14th.
May 14th. Come out. Start supporting. Start getting this information, because this is valuable information that can not only help you, but can help the person next to you, help your family. And let's just start breaking generational curses, which has been brought forth in our inner city with people of color. Like, for real, the whole thing what we talked about today was just to keep people down. Let's start lifting people up and let's get out of here together.
Facts.
And we're going to come back with a motivational check with Terry Tucker on Tuesday, 4/26, and Thursday, 4/28. We're going to have an artist development and management with Lizzie Chanel. So, I mean, you know, we have a lot of podcasts here. This podcast here, we are working on ourselves and, personal development, the Comfort Level Podcast. Also, tune in with us at the 856 Entertainment, Midday Madhouse, The Wake Up Show with IMD, I Shine Radio, The Kennel, and the Dumbass Podcast. Yes, make sure you check us out.
Big dummy.
Every day. Big dummy in the building.
Yeah.
So we got a track for you guys, and we're going to say thank you for tuning in.
Lyrical giant. I can get the best out of life. I know if I try hard. Be amongst the all-stars is doing it for a cause. Not for a phone call or an Audemars or a bad chick that look like Charlie Baltimore. I'm on the art of war. Know your enemies, the closest niggas close to you. That'll put the toast close to you. Now hustle you. Just when you thought the world loved you, had you comfortable, that hate came to rise. Put that silence to the crowd. So I stay one eye open. Fire with the orb on the end. He coming fast, I had to slow him up again. Heart beating over the sounds of the running speakers. Cutting corners, staying low. Ducking the law. Feet of 100 creatures. I'ma keep reaching for the stars once I hit the moon. Riding on the media. Book a run through Expedia. They still fuck the media. Even if they agree with you, they twist you for that info. More married than greedier. V5, 4 from V5, 4 from V5, 4 from. I smell the blood on this wicked can, they better run. V5, 4 from V5, 4 from V5, 4 from. I smell the blood on this wicked can, they better run. Giant achiever, playing the beanstalk, the reaching. My lyrics speaking through the speakers, but I'm not a preacher. Give it to you like my name was Caesar. Playing out the ace and hating the big greatness. Like I showed them on some late shit. How far you wanna take this to the depth of the underground? No, you turned you for that sizzle when you come around. You don't wanna come around. I'm loading up the guns now. Punish it, cracking the ground up. That's hands down. Cause a landslide. Gang got my hands tied. Reborn on that side. Bring a gang of strap guys. Like the fast watch eyes. I be here to capitalize. Top you guys on the fly. In and out in no time. Drop bombs, spit lyrics like icons. I can bomb flow with the music of Python. I done struck gold on these niggas the right time. You can take aim. I'ma spit out the right line and go mine. V5, 4 from V5, 4 from V5, 4 from. I smell the blood on this wicked game, they better run. V5, 4 from V5, 4 from V5, 4 from. I smell the blood on this wicked game, they better run. Street fighter, I reach higher to reach Eiffels. I'ma stand next to you when the bullets snipe you. Take you out in the zip, no entertainer to lip. We intertwining and grip to make it more of a quit. I got more of my game to make it more of a game, so I can prosper and better the things I could have changed. Never step up to the top, I just gas and ride. I was built for this mission, just to last and die. Taking everybody out with me, the ones that went against me. Try to leave me out the tribe, try to put me out my memory. Remember what you did to me? Block out, put you out for centuries. No last word, death come essentially. Reaching for a higher level on a different plane, so my brain exercising like still got to train. But my body took a leap of faith, soared like an eagle. That play straight from man, I shake and bake the people.
I
smell the blood on this wicked gang. Y'all better run.
V5, 4
I'm not done. Is it like this dude posted